Good afternoon. I don't understand why people argue so much in social media, mainly X. I guess because it's X, about diet. Let me tell you my take on diet. Diet is going to be as personalized as anything else can be. When you embrace a particular diet that is just very restrictive, you will see results that are going to be great, but it doesn't mean long term is a good strategy. It could be, but without measurement, you don't know what harm you could be doing on the other side. Let me give you an example. A high fat carnivore diet is a very heavy on saturated fat, very low in fiber, very low in minerals and other nutrients because meat doesn't have that. Could be a problem. Now, putting more fat or more meat in your diet, in a diet that has already a good balance of other stuff. Why is that important? It's because you need vitamins and minerals. Now you can take a vitamin, but it's still not the same. Fiber, the same thing. Supplementing fiber, there are good mixtures out there that are made that could be comprehensive enough, but you need to put some type of fiber in your intestine and feed the right bacteria. My advice with people who are going to be in a restrictive diet, let's say you get in a very low carb, high carnivore, high fat diet, I would like to see your cholesterol. I would like to see how that reacts. And remember, the numbers are not for short-term interpretation, they're long-term. You could have a completely normal calcium score, CT coronary angiogram, clean bill of health, and still have high cholesterol. That doesn't mean you're not forming plaque. That means that means it's not detectable yet. There may be other elements. There are usually other elements to form plaque, like hypertension, um, inflammation, other things that disturb the wall of the artery. But you could have endothelial dysfunction, produce nitric oxide, that may not show up immediately. So you have we have to be careful when we put these diets. Doesn't matter if it's a plant-based diet or I would say complete vegetarian, you need more vitamin B12. See, so there's things that are back and forth. And there's some indication that when you go on a carnivore diet, you're causing some things, changes in your gut microbiome that may not lead to good, healthy gut. It could lead to cancer, and that's controversial. But when there's something that is showing a signal in the studies, we must pay attention because a lot of it processed meat. So if you're gonna eat meat, try to eat clean meat. You can always eat lower fat meat because saturated fat does affect heart disease. I don't care what they tell you. These things are not like cyanide. They're not going to kill you immediately. But if you're trying to get longevity and health span and avoid having to get a stent or a bypass, which you may not be able to, but at least delay it. So the diet is very personalized, and that's what we like to do in our office. I like to sit down, and it's a process. And we go through the whole thing and see genetically what seems to suggest what you'll be benefiting from, and then we try and we get feedback from you. We have a nutritionist that will give you a lot of information and work with you hand in hand. And the first year, it's a very, I call it the discovery year. Discovery year is when we're trying to find out everything about you. The older you are, the more stuff we have to go through, more chapters in the book. So I advise that you don't just embrace the diet for the heck of it or because it's popular on social media. Is it true that these diets can be beneficial for people? Like I said, if you go on a carnivore diet and you have diabetes or you have high sugar or insulin resistance, you're going to see a change. you're gonna drop weight because by default it's gonna be a low carb, low sugar diet. Low carbohydrate diets are absolutely good for losing weight. You lose a lot of water too, but your body has no other option but to burn fat. Now, is that sustainable long term? Potentially. Zero carb, not likely, especially if you're doing some type of sport. I always tell people your carb heavy meal or the more carbohydrate should be complex carbohydrates, not sugar. Do it after you work out, lifting weights, especially cardiovascular endurance type of exercise. Make that meal the one after that for several reasons. If you just lift the weights and you do that, you stimulate some insulin that helps the muscle grow too. So it's a complex series of things that you should do when you're picking a diet. Now, it shouldn't be complex. You could do what my grandmother did. She lived to 102. She ate whatever she wanted. She got good genes. I don't have that advantage. If I look at carbohydrates, I gain weight. Many people are like that. And that's because we have a tendency for insulin resistance. It's in my genes too when I look at genetic testing, predisposition for that. So we have to watch it. And thank God we know about this nowadays. And why you think half Americans or more than that, you see them, three quarters of them maybe, with big guts because they have no idea. The food is bad. Yeah, there's bad quality food. The fast food is just ridiculously empty calories, pretty much. Um, just a lot of flavor to get you enticed. But that's a different topic. And are they diets like the keto diet that is good for the brain? Yes, there are many studies that show that. Psychiatric help, you name it, gut issues, because you eliminate it. It's an elimination diet. So the message is you can do whatever you want, but you'll go crazy trying diets. And sticking to a diet for long term is very hard. It's better to have a diet that is comprehensive, but it favors a particular meal type of food. I always tell people if you want a coin, you want a diet that's just going to be, that has been studied, that's going to be all comprehensive, go to the true Mediterranean diet. And if you want that diet to be heavier on protein, animal protein, then do it. But you'll have some good variety of fiber-rich foods. To me, the important parts are protein, fiber, healthy fats. You do that combination, you're in good shape. And you can get a lot of fiber through vegetables and fruits and legumes, and these things are going to be very good for you. Hopefully, this is understood by most. Um, be careful what you hear online, and as I always say, just find a licensed physician that can lead the team that is interested in doing it, so he can help you monitor all the different markers that you need to know about your food and your diet. Too much sun. And you know, this is the safer way to do it, the smart way to do it, the way to save your money, because you spend a whole year of intense figuring out, and then it's more tweaking, less intense, less investment in testing. The first year of our clinic or of coming to our services, if you get the whole year service, you can get it one time and see. It doesn't give you as much information, but if you want us to correct things, you got to give us time. And we need your complete attention and cooperation, and you'll get good results. That's for sure. The advantage of doing it with a licensed physician versus one of these fly-by clinics, we're not selling you anything. Um, Contrary to what people say, I make zero money on pharma, zero. We have the option to give you that if there's no other option that's working. And remember, medications, pharma, whatever you want to call it, that's not done on a permanent basis, at least not in my clinic. Sometimes you have to, but most of the time, what we try to do is give it to you as a stopping the damage. Let's say you're super hypertensive. Yes, we're going to put you on medication. The goal is to get you to lose weight, find the source of this hypertension, and maybe stop it. Some medications have to stay on board. I'm on cholesterol medication. It's no other way to lower the cholesterol. And one day I'll discuss my situation, but I made some improvements and reversal of some soft plaque with cholesterol medication. Despite my healthy life, it was not working. So have a good day.